G'day. In this video I want to show you the sort of training that you can do with the total stand. The typical sort of fighter training without the sparring. So I'll put up the stand in a minute, and the first thing I'll do is some heavy bag work. Before that I'll do some stretching as well. Then I'll get on to a speed bag, and then I'll do some strength training. Now before you begin, or before I start, I've already gone for a run, so that's one of the common things that a fighter would do to warm up, is just go for a run. So I've done that, I'm ready to do a workout on the total stand. Okay, now the first thing is to actually put up the stand. Now I've got it right here. That's how easy it is. Okay, now the first thing is just to do some gentle stretching, just to stretch out the muscles. So I'll just move the camera down a bit, just to show you. So just having the handles at this sort of level. You could just use them for support. And just stretching out those muscles. I'm not extremely flexible, but it's just good to do a stretch before the heavy bag, and you can have the handles at different sort of levels for your stretching, just whatever you're comfortable, just to get those muscles stretched out. Okay, next I'm going to put the heavy bag on. Now the bag I use weighs around 80 kilos, so I'll show you how I actually put it on. So put the handles right up. Now I've got the bag on a trolley like this. I'll position it roughly here. I'll lower the stand onto it, and now I'll hook it up. So I've hooked it up to the central joint. I can now move the trolley to the side, and now the way I put the bag up is I push it onto the stand. And because of the leverage of the stand, I'm able to get it all the way up to the top without too much problem. So I've just hooked it up at the back while I had it at right angles. And once it's hooked on, I'll let it go and it's ready. Now I've got the heavy bag up. Next I'm going to actually put an umbrella over the top. Now it's a pretty hot day today, so it's the sun is quite scorching, so I'm just going to put an umbrella over the top to provide like a shade over the total stand. Now when you're working out on a heavy bag, I highly recommend that you do use wraps. They serve two purposes. One, to protect your hands, and two, they soak up the sweat in your hands so that your gloves don't end up being completely soaked with sweat. Okay, well I've got my wraps on, I'm ready to do a workout. This is the sort of timer that I'm going to be using, or this is the time I'll be using. And it's basically a round timer. I highly recommend getting one of these. because it's pretty much like a typical Muay Thai gym. You'd have a timer going all the time. So you've got to get used to doing those 3-minute rounds and base all your training sessions on those 3 minutes. So you've got 3 minutes, then you can have a break of either 30 seconds or 60 seconds break. Sometimes I'll do a round of just kicks, just basically to work on my kick techniques. Okay, so once I've done my 3 rounds or 5 rounds on the heavy bag, it's time to take that off and replace it with the speed bag. So simple, push it back, unclip at the back, lower it gently. Now to put the speed bag on is pretty straightforward. I take the handles off. I hook the 2 carabines together and I move the rope along. So I've just got like a loop here. I've got another bit of rope, also like a loop with a carabiner, which I attach to the central bit there. So I've got 2 loops essentially now. And I've got my speed bag just attached to a board like this, and all I do is I slip it into those loops there. I've got some notches at the front, and then I adjust my height so that it's at the right height for me. And then just to make sure it doesn't move around, I put a bucket, a heavy bucket on top with some stones in it, or some sand or whatever. I position the bucket centrally. Now, the thing I like about this support system, or this speed bag system, is that the speed bag actually will move around a bit. And it's just like a fighter, it's just going to move around. So as you're punching, there's a little bit of movement there. And I like that movement. Now once you've done your rounds, if you've got energy left, and I've got just a tiny bit left, go ahead and do some pull-ups or chin-ups. So it can be a combination of pull-up and putting your legs up. So that'll work out your core as well as your biceps and your shoulders. So that's it. Hope you enjoyed the video.